So, this is one of the 3 chicken heads that I painted yesterday. And this is one of the whole body chickens that I painted before. Yesterday I tried a new, or at least different from the other chickens, method for making these, where I did a first layer on this chicken, then I moved on to the next chicken, first layer, put it away, third chicken, first layer, put it away, then came back to this. Also a bit more of a serial production kind of thing, doing the first layers on all 3 chickens, and then in a second session doing the second finishing layer on all of them. And that was very interesting and fun, and I might do it again, but not today. I'm generally quite pleased with how these turned out. I'm a bit surprised about the amount of detail and texture I managed to put in. I quite like the colors in this. Hanging on my wall, that just looks good. Colors are interesting to look at. This is just a fun chicken head. But there's something about this that I like better than this, or rather that is missing in this, and that is this one, even though it's a much simpler image overall, a lot less detail, none of the fancy interesting color that's going on here. But in this one, there's a clarity of form and a roundness that this one is lacking. And I want to have this kind of sculptural feeling, this roundness, basically in all of the paintings I do. So the task for today is to do more chicken heads, but to do them in a different way, in a way that emphasizes form over color and detail and texture and all of these like fancy little fun things that I will get back to, not today, but maybe tomorrow, maybe another day, who knows. We'll get back to them eventually, but today is about form and roundness. And in order to really make myself focus on the form and the roundness and not get sidetracked by fancy colors and such, I will limit my palette. Today I will be working monochrome or almost monochrome. I think I will be only using red, white, and black. And try not to get into the color differences between the beak and the feathers and the eye, as pretty as they are. I'm going to treat the chicken heads almost a bit more as if I'm painting sculpture, like the old Greek sculptures that have lost all their color, and see where that gets me. So there's, need a bit more white. We'll probably need quite a lot of white. Red still there, still looking good. For some of these I will use the Scarlet Red, for some of them I will use English Red, but yeah, I think I will also put out a bit more black. need to buy more colors soon, more paint. Yes. So this has a funny format. This would be just a very, very tall thing. So how am I going to do this? I was supposed to work in red. This is a chicken head that is like a chicken that is standing in front of a gray wall. So I might just leave the background gray. Even though I said at some point that I wouldn't do that the goal is to fill the whole image space with paint. Maybe then I'll just paint it over in gray that is very similar to the gray of the paper. So I think I will mix the slightly pinkish red of all the skin flaps and paint in the general shape of the head, everything with that pinkish red, and then start working into the forms with light and dark. So the first run, doing the pink general outline shape and maybe also the gray background, that's about 5 minutes, I think. Should be about 5 minutes. And then I'll have quite a bit of time to focus on working out the forms in light and dark. I hope. We'll see. And I will do the mixing of the paint before I start the timer. Okay, then we have a pink red. And here's the basic gray. Okay, and then I'll start the timer. Oh, top of the head is about the middle of this thing, this image, and here. This is such a funny color. About the eye is about here. The beak is a bit below. So this and swap. This goes a bit here. Okay, it's 5 minutes already gone. gray background. Yeah, it dries darker than it looks like when it's wet, so I'll put in more white. This will just look as if I'm painting water on the paper because it's basically the same color, but still it makes for different edges when it's colored than when it's paper. And a different kind of surface, and I can correct myself a bit. Okay, I'm going to be spending the whole 15 minutes of the first layer just on all this very, very basic shape stuff. Didn't expect that. It is fun though. Five minutes left on the first timer. Okay, at least all the paper's covered now. And I find this to be a rather pleasing and interesting shape, so that's good. Now I'm just going to put in a little bit of white for body. Because it is not just a disembodied head floating in the gray space. It actually does have a body. I'm getting lost in textures again. I shouldn't do that. No, no, no. Here under. It's darker. It's also actually more black in the feathers here, but there's shadow. Okay, so 1 minute left on the first timer. I think I would get into the lights first and then do the darks in the second pass. Okay, and there's 30 seconds on this timer left. I'm just going to start a new one. So it's lighter here. There's a light edge. So the light is coming from above and a bit to the right. This will probably all dry darker than I'm painting it now. And this is very textured, but I'm trying to ignore the texture. Mostly. There's this crease that many of them have that can look quite weird, but that's, I think, just from where it flaps over when it flaps. eye socket. At some point, I'll probably have to learn all the actually correct names for these parts. Like the skin flap here, like what? They're probably not called skin flaps, right? Like the skin flap here is a skin flap by the ear, which is probably not called an ear because it's not technically an ear, I guess. Like the ears from frogs aren't ears. They're just hearing, whatever. Oh, there's a delicious disappearing edge here. Okay. So then the dark is going to be red plus black. And I really want to use some purple. Okay, I'm going to use some purple for this. Even though it's an additional color, but the shadows here, they just don't look brown the way that the red plus black would make them look. They look purple. Ten minutes left. I need more purple. Losing time for color mixing again. Okay, but this is better. A bit too dark, but I'll dry lighter anyway. Probably shouldn't be. Probably should be using a bigger brush for this than one of the flat ones too, but This is all kind of most uniform dark place here. I would like to have some time left for blending at some point in this. So maybe I should aim for like the last 5 minutes to have for blending and details and stuff. Now we have 7 minutes left. Six minutes. In 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, this might actually be getting tight time-wise. Okay, now I should be getting into more of the detail stuff. Oh, there's so much on this that I would like to be doing that I won't get around to. Blending. Like just those skin flaps, there's just so much going on there, and it's all the kind of very, very organic, formy stuff that I like drawing or painting. Okay, I don't feel done with this at all, but 3 minutes 3 minutes left on the timer, and I do want to get a bit more detail in the eye. Okay, the lower layer isn't as dry as I would want it to be, or too easily reactivated, so the eye isn't going to go as dark as I want it to. I might get back to that later at some point. $30. I'm going to go over time because I want to add some lights. Probably going to go over time. Not over time yet. Okay. Give myself another an extra minute. Extra minute is gone. I want to continue on this, but I shall stop now. Now, any second. Okay. Kind of got the perspective wrong on the eye a bit, but whatever. Don't like some of the edges. They're a bit too sharp. Some of them. Like in here, I would like to soften that up. And I might do that another day or not. I think at least the forms up here are coming out better than in the other ones. Skin flaps down here are still a bit too flat. Might have to give myself some time at some point to really work these out thoroughly without a timer to understand them better, and then maybe I can also do it fast. But anyway, that was that.